Simple, seductive, silent, superb, pure, incredible mouthfeel, best espresso of my life, damn near a miracle. Just a few descriptions from user reviews of this modern classic espresso machine. Hey espresso lovers, Mark here from Whole Latte Love. My special guest today, the Profitec Pro 800 lever espresso machine. Now, I review a lot of machines. As part of that process, I read user reviews. I've got to say, owners of the Profitec Pro 800 are beyond passionate. Sure, people might say they like this machine or that one, but when it comes to the Pro 800, reviews read more like a love fest. Today, I'll take you top to bottom through the Pro 800. I'll hook up a SCASE pressure gauge to show you what makes a lever profile special. We'll get under the hood too, as I always do. Along the way, I'll take you soup to nuts through pulling a bottomless triple shot, check out steaming performance, tell you how this machine can pull a shot and never make a sound other than the sweet drips of espresso into your cup, go over PID functions and controls, see what comes in the box, and finish up with some final thoughts. So why so much love for lever machines and the Pro 800? Well, they produce excellent espresso, are simple to use, are very consistent, and they are a classic. So exceptional espresso. You know, lever shots tend to be sweeter, have more body and smoothness than shots made on other machines. That's especially true on the Pro 800, which uses a dipper system in the boiler. When you pull the lever down, low pressure in the boiler pushes brew water to the group. As long as you leave the lever down, water continues to move at a low flow rate and pressure to pre-infuse the coffee. They are simple to use. Beyond normal coffee selection, grind size, brew temperature, and dose weight, how long you leave the lever down is really the only decision you'll make. So consistency is easy. Once you find a pre-infusion time that works for a particular coffee, it's easy to repeat and get the same flavor shot after shot. Now, I work with all kinds of machines where you might have control of things like flow rates, different brew pressures, and more. You know, potentially useful tools for sure, but all those variables, you know, they might lead to some overload. On the Pro 800, it's just simple pre-infusion time. Once you release the lever, the machine does the rest, starting at high pressure and then gradually ramping down as the shot progresses. You can see that on the pressure gauge from my SCASE. When I release the lever, pressure initially hits around 140 psi. That's a little over 9.5 bar. Then as the lever travels up and spring tension eases, pressure gently ramps down. Shot to shot, it's a consistent profile that many feel extracts more sweet flavors and produces a syrupy extraction with more body. Lever machines, yeah, they're classic. The term pulling a shot, it comes from actually pulling the lever on espresso machines, old and new. I first reviewed the original Pro 800 6 years ago. In mid-2022, it was updated with a new cup rail design, lever-operated valves for steam and hot water, a new larger and more elegant pine green gauge, stainless steel base frame, and the lever handle, joystick valves, and portafilter handles are trimmed in beautiful handcrafted American walnut. The machine has a 3-liter water reservoir up top under the cup tray, but it's plumbable, direct to water line as well. When plumbed, the pump never comes on. The boiler refills automatically without the pump, so you're running silent except for the sweet sound of espresso dripping into your cup. The drip tray is substantial with a 1.5-liter capacity and comes ready with a removable plug and collection cup to run a drain line. The joystick-operated sprung valves operate momentarily or lock on. Wands for steam and hot water are no burn, with steam fed through a 2-hole tip. The Pro 800 comes with a bottomless portafilter and triple shot basket, so I'll use those and take you through pulling a naked triple. First, I grind 20 grams of coffee in my portafilter. Now, I previously dialed in my grind size to produce a shot I like with the 20-gram dose. You may find yourself grinding a little finer than you would on a pump-driven machine. Also, you can forget about basic 20 to 30 second shot timing for the most part with lever machines. Not unusual at all for those shots to go 40 seconds or more. Now, you don't want your espresso gushing out or dripping forever, but once you have a reasonable flow, adjust grind size based on flavor. My basic advice for that: if shots are sour, grind a little finer or increase the dose weight. If shots are bitter, grind a little coarser or lower the dose weight. I'm using an Akaya lunar scale to confirm my weight. Now, a scale is not required, but I'll be weighing my espresso output to produce a 1-to-2 brew ratio. Using 20 grams of ground coffee, I'll be going for about 40 grams of espresso out. I tamp my coffee evenly and firmly. Any defects in prep will show when pulling bottomless shots. I lock in the portafilter and pull the lever all the way down. Now, you need to be a little careful when pulling down, since should you slip, the lever can pop up with a fair amount of force, so do keep your chin out of the way. Once the lever is down, it will stay in position until I push it back up. I'll leave it down for about 5 seconds. In this position, low pressure in the boiler gently pushes water into the coffee for pre-infusion, and that flow continues as long as the lever is down. After that, I push the lever up and the main extraction begins. As the espresso extracts, I'm eyeing the bottom of the filter basket. If all goes well, espresso blooms evenly across the bottom and comes together in a single stream cone. I had a minor spurt and a slightly under-involved spot on the left side of the filter basket, but nothing major. Now, big spurts or large under-involved areas can indicate issues with grind, distribution, or tamping. Beyond being fun to watch, bottomless shots are a great way to appraise your technique. Since I'm pulling a triple, as the lever nears the top, I pull it down to get more water into the group and slowly release the tension. You don't have to do this when pulling singles or doubles, but to get enough brew water for my triple, I do need to do that. Watching my scale, I pull the cup right before I see 40 grams. My extraction ran 39 seconds, including the 5 seconds of pre-infusion. Pulling the cup, that's how you stop extractions on a lever machine. I used our own Crema Wave coffee, which I'm very familiar with, and tasting this shot, it was round, balanced, plus a touch sweeter with noticeably more body and richer mouthfeel than what I'm used to from a standard extraction on an E61 group machine. With the dipper boiler system, there's always steam available on the machine, so you can pull a shot and steam milk simultaneously. To test steaming performance, I used our standard of timing how long it takes to bring 5 ounces of fridge temp milk to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. The lever-operated valve feeds a no-burn steam wand with a 2-hole tip. For the test, I had the boiler set to 248 degrees, which gets you a brew temp in the middle of the espresso brewing range. Total steaming time to milk sweet spot of 140 was 27 seconds. I like the roll produced in the pitcher. If you have a lot of milk to steam at this temp setting, you can have pretty much infinite steam with no drop in boiler pressure. And it's a very dry steam due to the short path from the top of the boiler through the insulated no-burn wand, which reduces internal condensation. The PID display is located behind the drip tray. To set temperature, press and hold the plus and minus buttons together until T1 appears, then quickly press the plus button to start adjusting the temps using the buttons. Once set, leave it alone and the display returns to showing the current temperature in the boiler. 248 Fahrenheit is a good place to start when brewing medium roast coffees. Beyond that, you can go a few degrees cooler for darker roasts and a few higher for lighter roasts. To access other functions, again, press and hold both buttons. When T1 appears, press the minus key to cycle to eco mode or to set the display to Celsius or Fahrenheit. In eco mode, you can set a time for the machine to go into standby and stop heating the boiler, ranging from 0 or off out to 10 hours in 30-minute increments. At the degree symbol, you use the plus button to set the display to Celsius or Fahrenheit. The only other control on the machine is behind the drip tray as well. Push to the left if running from reservoir and to the right if plumb to water line. With the panels off, there's no missing the huge 3.5-liter copper boiler wrapped in a high-quality insulating jacket. New in this version of the 800, a stainless steel base frame. It's one continuous piece, front to back and side to side, providing extra rigidity for the machine, which weighs in at a hefty 70 pounds. Compared to other machine types, this one is incredibly simple in design, which means high reliability. The waterline connection for plumbed operation is underneath the machine next to a valve for selecting plumbed or reservoir operation. From there, cold water from the plumb line or off of the rubber-mounted vibration pump feeds into a solenoid valve. The only one in the machine, and that's used for filling the boiler. If plumbed in, you're running silent. The vibration pump will not operate. In front of the pump, a hunk of heavy metal is a counterweight, which adds stability when pulling the lever down. On top of the boiler, the PID temperature probe, boiler fill level probe, a safety valve rated at 2 bar, and the vacuum relief valve. On the side of the boiler is the fill connection, hot water pipe, steam pipe up top, the heating element, and 2 resettable high-limit safety switches, which cut power to the element if things get too hot. Behind the Jacquard control board, a static relay supplies power to the heating element. The Pro 800 comes stock with the beautiful handcrafted American walnut trim on the levers and portafilters. In the box, you'll get single, double, and bottomless portafilters, 7, 14, and 21 gram filter baskets, a real usable tamper, braided stainless steel line for plumbing to water line, a collection cup that mounts below the drip tray for connection to a drain line, a group brush, and user manual. The reviews on this machine really speak for themselves. They call out the simplicity, nostalgic romance, and of course the exquisite richness and repeatability of lever shots. The lever profile ramps down pressure and makes espresso with a deeper, more syrupy body than standard extractions. You will need to consider where to locate the machine. Fully extended, the lever needs 29 inches of vertical clearance, so do be mindful of overhanging cabinetry. With a huge boiler and group, total heat up time is about 40 minutes. So consider a properly rated appliance timer so the machine can turn on automatically and be ready for use. If solid reliability is important to you, this lever machine with dipper boiler gets high scores in that regard. That's the Profitec Pro 800. It's available now at Whole Latte Love. Well, I do hope this video helped you out. If you have any questions on this machine or anything coffee, use those comments and I'll get you a detailed answer. If you love coffee and espresso as much as I do, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. I'm Mark. Thanks for watching, and be sure to come back soon for more of the best on everything coffee, brought to you by Whole Latte Love.